For those of you who don't know me, I spent 9 years as a Navy SEAL, and Memorial Day is a very somber day for myself as well as for many Americans. Now, there's families across the country this weekend who spent their days missing someone who never made it home. And that's why I was deeply disappointed to see this tweet from our Commander-in-Chief. Stay cool this weekend, folks. Wow, nothing says thank you for your service like a 78-year-old man celebrating his ice cream cone with the media's slobbering love affair over what flavor he decided to grace the world with. I know more than likely that some young staffer is running the account, but when you pair Biden's tweet with our arrogant vice president's, enjoy the long weekend, with a glamour shot highlighting herself, of course. Not a word about the troops, the country, or the actual reason we have this holiday. Vice President Harris, I must say, though, never has someone so arrogant or tone-deaf ever held your office. You get no slack from me on stuff like this. As the vice president, you have 3 jobs. Don't die, stand where you're told, and don't do anything to become the narrative. You failed on something that should have been a layup. But hey, I'll go back to Orange Man bad, right? Now, these tweets are tone-deaf, but I don't think they were a mistake. It's a look through the lens at which they see America through. They have no honor. These two people who have never served anything greater than themselves have decided that they should be the focal point of this weekend's fiascos. It's disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, it actually got even worse, if you can believe that. Here is Joe Biden speaking to a young girl at one of his Memorial Day events.
I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, and look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
Oh, that's how the dude who runs the military speaks to military families? So creepy. If he's not making inappropriate comments about little girls, though, in his Memorial Day speech, he's pushing a political agenda.
The soul of America is animated by the perennial battle between our worst instincts, which we've seen of late, and our better angels. The Americans of Lexington and Concord, of New Orleans, Gettysburg, the Argonne, Iwo Jima, Normandy, Korea and Vietnam, Afghanistan and Iraq, and thousands of places in between. These Americans weren't fighting for dictators. They were fighting for democracy.
That word salad. But to stand in Arlington National Cemetery and do anything but praise this country wholeheartedly and everything it stands for is nothing short of a disgrace. If there was a reason that the soul of this nation is in jeopardy, it's because people like Beijing Biden spread lies and falsehoods about who we are and what we stand for simply for political gain. Again, disgraceful. Now, my reflection of this sacred day couldn't be more different than our 2 highest elected vegetables. This is something that I went over on my Saturday show, but I think it bears repeating. I think it's never been a more appropriate time to remind folks the balance of our society and our safety. There's 3 types of people in this world. There's sheep, sheepdogs, and wolves. Now, the vast majority of people are sheep, and that's okay. It's fine. They go through life achieving what they and their family need. They don't understand the evil in the world. They're usually liberals, but they're not the folks you would turn to in a crisis. Then you have the wolves. People lying in wait, usually bad intentions. They prey on the sheep, and they're self-serving, usually evil. But then you have the sheepdogs, usually 1 or 2 for every few hundred sheep. It's in their DNA, though, to protect. You know, the sheep generally pay them no mind, occasionally wonder why they're always on guard. And if sheep could talk, they might ask, why do you need an AR-15 with a high-capacity magazine? And you know what? Some of their sheepdogs will go their whole lives without ever fending off a wolf. But all of them are willing to die for their sheep. They will go toe-to-toe with a pack of wolves, fight to their last dying breath to defend a population that doesn't even know they're there sometimes. That sheepdog is haunted, though, by its wounds, physical and mental. You grow a certain level of hate inside, and it can't be expelled. But it's your burden, because you have to learn to hate something in order to kill. It's not natural. That's why less than 5% of Americans have ever had to shoulder the burden of serving in the military. Of that, less than 5% of them ever saw combat. An even smaller percentage of that group has ever given their life for this country. And their sacrifice is why we have this long weekend, Kamala. We do have the freedoms that we do because people are who they are in the military. This is why we speak English still. This is why we are the superpower and the envy of the world. Imagine being willing to die for something. I'm not just saying that. I'm talking about actually doing it, facing death. Folks, I've looked death in the eye. I've taken lives, and I've held friends as their life expires. And throughout history, hard times have created hard men. Hard men have created good times. Good times have created soft men, and soft men, in turn, created hard times. So, let's honor those hard men. Honor them by being the best you can be. Don't feel sorry. Don't give pity. Live every day to be the person worth dying for. Because someone, somewhere, is training to kill you and your family right now. And all that stands in the way is those hard men. This is the cost. This is why we have Memorial Day. This is what it's about. It's a day dedicated to those who gave all their tomorrows so you could have yours. So here's to you, brothers and sisters. You're home.
Hey, I'm Rob Schmitt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.